Let's go. I got another powerful message for you. Let me just jump right into it. Listen, the title of this message is It Matters Who Your Friends Are. It matters who your friends are. Have you ever heard this saying, birds of a feather flock together? The Bible says it like this, right? How can any two walk together unless they agree, right? It also says, do not stand in the counsel of the ungodly, right? So it matters who you hang with. It matters who your friends are. Because I tell you something, if all your friends are motivated, full of faith, right, got big vision, and they're working on it and they're living in it, guess what? That's going to rub off on you, unless you're just negative Nancy. And if your name happened to be Nancy, it don't mean that you're negative. It's just a saying. And so this thing, it rubs off on you. On the flip side of that, if you have friends who just complain about their job or complain about their status and how they're living, or complain about their man, or complain about their kids, just complain. Guess what? That's going to rub off on you. And you soon going to be doing the same thing. And so if you are around people who are negative, if you're around people who don't speak with faith and don't speak with positivity and are not optimistic and see the best in everything, guess what? It's going to be hard for you if you're a person who is like that, who wants to succeed and who wants to do better, because this person is constantly going to tell you why you can't make it. It's going to constantly tell you the ills of life. It's going to constantly tell you the bad news in the media, and it's going to get into your psyche and it's going to slow you down. See, me, I like positivity all around me. In my personal space, I don't want to hear about things that's happening bad in the world all the time, because that gets in my mind. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear about why I cannot make it. I don't want to hear about what the boss is doing to you at your job all the time. Because I come from the belief that if you don't like something, then you change it. If you don't like the way you're being treated, right, then you change the situation. Because God gave us the power to speak life and death. God gave us the power to make a choice, to change things that we don't like, right? To change our situation. So why stay in a situation you don't like? Why keep going to a job that's not paying you enough? Why stay at a job where you say, I got bills to pay, Mike? Yeah, well, you got bills to pay, but you stay at that job while you have a plan, and you work that plan on the side so you can leave that job and go to a better one, or, in my opinion, start your business on the side while you work in that job, and then eventually your business will earn enough income, if you're doing it properly, that now you can leave that job and work for yourself, and then begin to employ other people under you who are working your vision, your goals, and your dreams. You see, but if you don't have people around you who you can make these partnerships with, or who's putting this type of thoughts into your mind, then guess what? You're going to stay at the level that you're on. A friend of mine, we looked at Meek Mill for a little bit, and we look at various people in the industry, whatever, we talk about it, whatever. And one of the things that we notice is that he's now doing business deals. Like he formed a partnership with Rock Nation to do his own record label, right? Then he got another deal with another hat company. But then you look and say, oh, some people say, oh, he's making moves, he's doing it big, yada, yada, yada. But how come he wasn't doing that before? And look at the people that he was hanging with before that kept landing him back in jail because of the way that he was thinking, the way that he was acting. And I know a lot of things went on with the judge and things of that nature. But now, look who he's hanging with. Billionaires. And because of that, that thinking is changing him. He's seeing how they move. He's seeing how they own multiple businesses. And he say, dang, I could do the same thing. And I could open up multiple businesses and have multiple streams of income that without me even working hard for it. Now the money's could come in. Now I can employ my family. Now I can employ my friends. Instead of just making money and giving it to everybody, now you can put people in position to make money for themselves. But it had to start with the people that he was hanging around, the people that he was with. I remember when I was younger, teenager, 14, 15, and majority of my friends at that time, they were playing a game called knockout. Meaning they would walk up to people and punch them in the face in the middle of the street. I said, whoa, what are we you doing here? I'm not doing that. I remember this guy that I knew, he hit this man so hard, this man caught seizures in the middle of the street. He just was walking with his girlfriend. They just came from having dinner. The dude I was with and some other guy walked up to this guy, punched him in his face, and the man caught a seizure. I said, whoa, I can't hang with you no more, right? You doing devilish things. You just punch a man in the face hard as you can for no apparent reason. I can't hang with you. Next, I go away to prep school, I come back, one of the other guys, we meet outside like we usually did, and I was ordering a steak and cheese sandwich at that time with a Snapple. I remember like yesterday. This is like 25 years ago. We standing outside, and I'm noticing that the cars outside were kind of different. I don't know how I knew, but when you live in that environment so long, you know when any little changes are made. So I noticed that there was a van there that looked kind of abandoned, had tinted windows. I said, never seen that here before. Then I looked around and I seen another man laying on the floor like a homeless guy, but there weren't too many homeless people at that time laying on the street like that. And I noticed him, he had like a hat over his head. He was laying down by the garbage can. To me, I felt like we were being watched. That's all I felt, because I said, dang, something is not right here. And so the person I was with, he never said to me he was into any illegal activity, nothing like that. He just said, hey, you just home from school from your first day, let's link up. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go get a sandwich from the corner store over there, let's go. And then we just, hang out like we normally did and just talk or whatever. So while we standing out there, the police jumped out that van, and that man, it was undercover cops watching him. And the homeless man that was laying on the floor was an undercover cop. He jumped up with a gun. Don't move, put your hands up. And the cop that ran out the van, undercover detectives that ran out the van, don't move, put your hands up. And my friend, or my associate at that time, took the drugs, threw it. He had cocaine in his pocket or something like that. I don't even know what it was to this day. I know it was white in the bag. Could have been heroin, could have been crack, could have been cocaine. He took it and threw it, and I saw it go up in the air, and it landed not in the garbage can, but in the city during that time they had metal garbage cans, and the black garbage bag wrapped, it made like a loop around the garbage can, and the garbage can itself had a chain to it, right? So you can't just pull a garbage can, or you can't knock it over. It stood straight up, so that, because people would just walk by and kick the garbage can, or the garbage can, all the garbage falls out the garbage can. But it just sat there and it went in a flat. And so they came out with a dog, and they had a flashlight. They were searching us. They said, where are you coming from? I had my hands up. I just came from prep school in Massachusetts. I just came from school. They said, how can you prove that? I said, check my ID. Look at my ID. He said, where is it? I said, my wallet in my back right pocket. They pulled it out. They showed my ID. He said, yeah, he's telling the truth. Because they haven't seen me there for months. I wasn't there. I left in August. I came back in December for Christmas break. And I had no idea that the person I was with was actually outside selling drugs. But he was just using me as a decoy, standing next to him. Now, the law, that if they were to caught him with those drugs, I'd be guilty by association. All I could do is thank God that it's the grace of God that He allowed for those drugs to fly in the flap of the garbage can and not in the garbage can, because they were searching in the garbage can. And for the dog not being able to sniff it out, because they had a dog there that was right there by the garbage can sniffing out for the drugs, because they saw him throw something and they were looking for it. And they were searching him and they couldn't find anything. I tell you, when they let us go, I was so vexed with him. I was so mad that he would put me in a position like that my whole future, my whole life could have been jeopardized because of decisions that he was making that I had no idea. So from that point on, I was very cautious about who I called a friend. I was very cautious about who I allowed in my circle, who I hung with, where I went to places with, because you never know exactly what a person is doing, and sometimes you won't know until it's too late. And so I understood that who I hang with, who I surround myself with, is going to affect my destiny. It's going to affect my purpose. It's going to affect my life. And if you keep hanging around certain people that you're hanging around, it's going to affect you in a negative way. Most people that's in jail right now is because they had a code that they lived by, and the people that they were around, and they did what they did. If people got their own minds and think for themselves, they get themselves out of a lot of trouble that they could have avoided. I hope this message encouraged somebody, right? To follow God and don't hang around people that got your problems. Hang around people that got your answers. And then, until next time, this is your man Mike Bowles. I'm signing off and saying, be blessed.